Today, I'm going to explore a very different side of the city's bread scene. Despite huge strides forward, 37% of Cape Town's population still live in poverty, mainly in townships. But I've heard of an organisation called BreadRev who are literally changing lives.
This company has been set up for the purpose of training people how to bake. They're passing on the knowledge and providing them with these amazing, what they call rocket ovens. And that I'm particularly interested in.
So, I've come to the seaside suburb of Colt Bay, where BreadRev is based, to meet the owner, Jeremy Barty. He's training a group of underprivileged and underskilled youngsters to become bakers, literally giving them a means to make a living.
Jeremy! Hi, buddy, how you doing?
Hi, Paul.
Nice to meet you.
Good,
wow.
man, good, huh?
I was expecting to see a bakery, if I'm honest. What you've got here is a unit which is very industrial.
We do it all here. So we've got a sample bakery behind here and then a little test kitchen through there.
So tell me how this started.
Well, we sort of on this mission to develop the informal baking trade in South Africa. So we started off trying to get people to bake and then realised that they need ovens. So we started building ovens.
And Jeremy had to learn that skill from scratch.
Basically, everyone, this is Paul. So I'm just going to show him the oven quick. As you can see in here, this is our little training facility.
Yeah.
If you have a look down here, there's the fire in there.
Yeah.
It's a box within a box. So the air goes up, hits a buffer plate, it goes round and out, and while it goes. And then you just have a look in there and you can see there's a couple of rolls and some breads.
That's great.
Busy baking, yeah.
Where did you learn this?
I basically looked for an oven because I thought, where can I find, you know, something that can run efficiently, because you can put any wood in there. You can see you just put scraps. Yeah. And in Africa, the rocket is a tradition that's 300 years old. So this rocket, they actually make and put pots on and boil their thing. So the rocket technology, I thought, well, I wonder, what about ovens? And I started looking around. And then I found the Americans, because the Americans love to tinker everything. And they were making rocket barrel ovens. I thought, OK, well, I want to try and commercialise that. So that's the brief.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
The beauty of Jeremy's rocket ovens, they not only work completely off the grid, they've been designed specifically with bread baking in mind, essential for his protégés to thrive.
How long have you been doing this then?
About 3 years ago, I built a one-loaf oven out of 2 tin cans. And from there, it sort of grew, and it was in my backyard and into a shed. And then it came here, and we registered the business about 6 months ago. So it's quite a new business. Wow. It's not, yeah.
In those 3 years, Jeremy has made more than 40 ovens and trained over 40 bakers. And already, there are 8 bread shops up and running.
Economics is a very important part of our drive, because we want to be able to be competitive. This is the high hydration dough. It's about 90%.
Conventionally, most bakeries operate around 60. So when you do a lot of water in a dough, it naturally gives you more volume for your flour and therefore more bread, therefore more money when you sell it.
They can make 10 kilos of dough very easily, just a few fold tucks and a very simple hand mix. And if they sell enough, then that's enough for a good little business.
Absolutely.
Getting economics right is crucial for any bakery. Maybe I can share some tips on how to add value to their produce.
You can do anything you want, cuts, and all of a sudden the bread looks much bigger, and this makes it even crispier.
Nice, you're learning, you see, eh?
Another one you can do is obviously anything you have lying around, like cherry tomatoes. Once you've opened it up with your fingers, put your tomatoes in, then olive oil, a little bit of salt, bake that up. They're buying a sandwich, you're not buying a bread anymore. Do you guys enjoy this?
Yeah, it was very much.
It's one of the oldest trades in the world. Baking, fishing, and tax collecting. I love the fact that he's passing on the knowledge. I love the fact that he's helping people that are worse off than him. That takes a certain type of person in the first place. But to learn how to make ovens, to bring people in to help him, and then sell them to these people to set themselves up in a business, and then teach them how to bake. Look at that. That's what you get in an Italian ciabatta. I've seen bread like that in the middle of Palermo. I've seen them in Rome. That is to be applauded. thank you for today. I've had a great time. I wish you all the success in the world.
Yeah, thanks
Thank
a
you,
million.
mate. Look
eh?
after yourself.
Thank you, man.
Take care, my friend. Bye-bye.
I'd love to check out one of BreadRev's success stories, and Jeremy has suggested I pay a visit to one of his bakers in a township north of Cape Town.
We are now in Guguletu. We call it Gooks.
Gooks.
Yep. Sounding like a local already.
Although townships fare much better than they did under apartheid, they are still the poorest communities. People here have to be creative, like Thembile.
So should be around here, freshly baked bread for 10 rand.
A former athlete, following a stroke 4 years ago, Thembile reinvented himself as an artisan baker, with BreadRev's help and one of Jeremy's ovens.
Hello! How are you?
Lovely to meet you. Hello.
Good.
Yes.
Wow, this is your bakery.
Yes, this is my bakery.
I love it. It's more garage industry than cottage industry. And Thembile is so busy, he even has a couple of employees, and together they bake more than just bread.
I fell in love with some certain products of baking, like the Chelsea buns.
Chelsea buns.
Yeah.
And
So, yeah, they are not English. They are Tutuletua.
Jujuletua. Guguletu.
First up, Thembile scones.
Because it's a self-raising.
Ah,
You can buy it. I won't embrace you.
That's a lovely scone. It's got a lovely taster. It's got a lovely back taster scone. The crumble is there. Texture is there in the scone. I'd have that with jam and clotted cream any day of the week. How long have you been baking for now?
3 years, 4 years.
Wow.
It's only the passion. And I believe in that. With no passion, your soul is asleep or absent. So you must have a passion to anything you do.
Yes.
So I bake with passion.
Scones and Chelsea buns might be everyday bakes to us, but for the community here, this is really fancy stuff. They wouldn't have grown up on these bakes and ordinarily couldn't afford them.
When you're making a Chelsea bun, you look for several criteria. You're looking for a soft crumb inside, a great taste, and a great colour. You've got all 3 of these.
Oh, really?
What I don't understand, how did you get to this level so quickly?
I was a Boy Scout. yes. Because in Boy Scouts, they believe that in creativity, you have to challenge yourself. I want to be unique, Paul.
You are unique.
Yeah, and I believe I want to be more unique.
Oh no, you won't stop, will you?
Yeah.
World domination next. He's a natural baker. And he got there through very bad circumstances, but look what he's done. He's set up his own bakery. That's drive, that's ambition, and that's passion. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what baking is all about. Thank you. Take care.
My pleasure.
Take care. Bye. Amazing.